Okay. It's e4. Knight f3. And the other knight to c3, just like every game starts. Bishop comes out to c4. Castled. That's a trade right there. Get our snorkel in there with pawn out to h3. This pawn moves up to d3. Our bishop needs to move, and can it move? Not quite, so this square should make a lot of sense. We always trade here, and very important rule that we came across all the way back at level 1. And remember, applying these things, you could easily forget one. You're so focused on all the other habits that you're forgetting some of the stuff we learned a while ago. But if there's a massive pawns coming at you, I mean, your knights are always fine, but you never want to have any bishops there because you're always going to lose a piece somehow. So we need to take this bishop. I know it looks like, I don't know, basically it makes us look silly. We're literally going to have to move it again and move it backwards. But rather look silly and follow the habits than look sillier and get forked, lose a piece. Opponent's playing well so far. I know this is a tough move to spot, but it is something that we've drilled quite a few times. Obviously, our rook's coming to the middle. This queen is coming next. Rook is coming after. I should know what's coming up. Yep. There comes the rook. We got the rooks in the middle. The sweet sound of that fiddle. We have our snorkel. We have our knights happy. Knights being attacked. Where do we go? Check the center first. Can it go there? No. Can it go there? Well, yes, it's well supported on e4. Okay. Queen on into the middle here. The rooks are happy. Bishop's, I think, doing the best it can, which means, most likely, RPMs are coming next. RPMs. Okay, here we go. Get those RPMs up there. Random pawn moves. Okay, this is a trade, so that's a pretty easy one to do. Okay. RPMs, RPMs. Every single RPM that we can. Right? I had to take this. And a very successful stream of, and in fact, this A pawn was perfect for the position. Those might have been the best moves in the position, no matter what. And an RPM took us there. Bad at all. Bad at all. Okay. Jeez.
Like the legend
Rook
of
takes f3.
all ends with the
And seems say, yeah, you could do the queen trade. To me, I'm doing the RPM, taking back with the piece closest to it. Makes some sense to me. Zero issue with the queen trade there. Remember, the habits can, you can end up in a different position and still be applying habits correctly. Right? There's not always a for sure path. In this case, the rook is taken here. Now, there's a queen hanging. Now, I'm 800. So there's nothing more important than nothing. Like, even if I have to give up 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, and 7 pawns, if I win a queen, I win the game. That's how my brain works. So we have to take the queen. Right? It's like a shiny object. Oh, queen. If I get the queen, I win the game. That is a free rook. We do need to take that as well. Yep. Queen is attacked here. I think stay central. It's the only central square that I could utilize. So let's go ahead and do it. And I think we're back to our age-old habit of rook in front of that pawn. Just catch it, right? Lock it before it gets far up. We are in an endgame. right? There's no black queen. So I would say it's so crazy to get the king in. I don't mind it.
What is this?
Let's take that, of course.
One refund.
Bring our king. I don't mind this.
Focus.
Just kind of heading into the center here.
Yeah.
Stay central like this. Uh,
This.
okay, it's a little unfortunate.
Night for good.
I can't take this because if I take this, I'll
Night for good.
give up 9 points and I'll only get 5 points. So it's not an option. And this way, you know, is not bad. We get our king into the middle and we win a free rook here. So that kind of worked out. Let's use our kings the best of our ability here. Just kind of go around and cause havoc. Okay, bishop there. Let's go ahead and take this. Whoa! Holy hell! You can't even take this. What a guy. What a guy. I'm trying here. Oy, 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 that was impressive. What can we do? Using our king, trying to hunt down his pawns here. Basically, we got to take. A fair result, I would say, just for two guys, 800 rated, nothing came between. Hard fought game, two elites. Power of moving the king. I was dead to rights here, right? Completely dead. All that black needed to do was just take the pawns. Like, if he had just sat there and just taken everything and then thought about what would be next, he would know, obviously, it has to be this. That was extremely clever. Not only did he find this tactic, but found that tactic because he set this up too, right? To go here and here, he saw the possibility. That was extremely clever. Only to be ruined, or perhaps from our POV, saved by good habits. Just bring our king into the middle and using it to hunt down our opponent's pawns. It put the pressure on him. He goes here. And that's it. We saved the draw from that position. Now, we can't be too proud because we saved the draw from this position. So hold the applause. But I have to say, from a very, very bad game earlier from our opponent, he really locked in. This was impressive, especially because he set it up with the check. So as soon as he saw this, he probably thought, oh, I could go here. Sets it up like this. Like I feel like he was on it. And then he threw the check in and then went here. Just like here, he threw the attack in to get this. So that's the guy setting up his own tactics. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. And we're still at 8:30. All right. The Canadian, we're obviously going to meet in the middle here. D4, D5. Capture. Got to take that. We take. Knight there. Well, our next moves are with the knights anyway, and we happen to defend that pawn. I'm not going to say no to that. Here comes the other knights. Now our bishop needs to move. That's the center. Never want to go there, so probably going to be this move. Hitting the center. Next move, pawn up. Oh, okay. Hang on. We got a trade to make. I want to go pawn up. Our bishop wants to get out to the center. It can't go here. So if that's the center, bishop d6, right? Always hit the center. King can then get castles. Let's go here. Okay, pawn there. We see absolutely zero danger. Let's get that pawn up there. Or Snorkel. See how he wants to handle it. Okay, pawn there. Definitely one of the stranger moves I've ever seen. Can't begin to explain it. We're just going to stick with our rook in the middle. Rook in the middle. Oh, there's exchange. Go ahead and do that one. Okay, got to get our other rook in. Here we go. Okay, well, I'm not going to let it phase me. We get rook d8 straight into the middle as we always want. We have a trade. Go ahead and take that right back. Probably time for RPMs, right? Gotta be. We have everything we're looking for here. Escape square, that nice snorkel. We got the rooks in the middle. Time for the RPMs. Random pawn moves. That's what it means. Very important to familiarize yourself with the glory that is RPMs. Okay, we have a push in the center here, which means obviously gotta take it. Okay, take that. Gotta take this. I have to take this. And our bishop's under attack. Let's hit the center here. Okay, we're not really done our PMs over there. He goes right into the middle. Okay, let's finish up these ones. RPMs, RPMs. Okay, there it is. Now, I would say, king into the middle if we can, right? We are in an endgame. Let's attack that bishop. Time to use our king like crazy. Endgame time. What can we do here? Now that our king is out, right? I would say these pawns, they don't really feel like they're in front of our king anymore. So, yeah, they're free to move. Right? Just gonna keep bringing our king to the middle. Move our bishop here. Okay, we're in check actually. So, guess we got to move our king. Okay. Bishop's hit. Let's go right into the center. And solid, looking solid. Again, staying central here, so we'll put the bishop there. Doesn't look bad at all. more king moves and maybe time to start those RPMs. We'll see. Okay, it goes there. This looks like a pawn that we can take, so just go straight for it. Bishop's attacked. Just go right into the center here. Okay, let's continue with the king. Bishop's in the middle. Trying with our king here. Get our king into the center as well. I guess we'll stay central, right? Like these are the squares we generally want to be, so just kind of hang around. Oh, okay. And maybe hey, it looks like a draw anyway, right? Totally draw. Well, pleasure doing business with you. Rook f4. Maybe just close out the RPMs there. Got our bishop in the middle, a king in the middle. Can't move any more pawns. You know, it's time to start moving this rook. Can we move this rook anywhere, like, to attack our opponent's pawns? That's my first thought. This looks like an attempt. Maybe even here to trade or attack that pawn. And in fact, we're threatening a nice little move here. Well, this is a tactic that will make sure not to miss. Rook check, and that is a plain and simple fork. Pawn to c5. All right, pieces in the middle, great stuff. We want to use this rook to take our opponent's pawns. I don't really know how we're going to do it, so I'm going to make another king and make a threat. That always looks like a good thing to do. All right. Take our opponent's pawns, as we're supposed to do. Need to move this rook out of the way. Here. And as usual with the pawns, this is our, only defense, right? When they start running away, I just always catch it with a rook in front. That always feels like the safest. And then once we've done that, I think we just want to push our pawn, right? Clear skies ahead. Forward. Forward. Okay, forward. Take this one. Now using the king makes the most sense. Okay, just using this king to collect. Grab this. And grab this. Don't forget your habits. The bishop into the center. Wow, would you look at that? Jeez. We ended up in a king and rook endgame. Wow. Well, this is perfect. I don't know how we ended up here, but we get yet another shot. Would you imagine that? We have 30 seconds. Let's see if we can make the box king move. Box king. Can we make the box smaller? Nope, that would be check. King move. Box smaller. King move. Can we make the box smaller? Yes. Box smaller? No, that would be check. Box smaller? No, that would be check again. So another king move. Smaller. There we go. Smaller once again. We need another king move. We need another king move. We can't make it small. Here we go. Box shrinks. Can we shrink the box? No, that's going to be a check. So we have to go here. Now our opponent's king is in the corner. We can deliver a nice checkmate right there using the same technique that we always do. And of course, doing it in 30 seconds, which is the goal for you guys. Get that down to 30 seconds or less. I know you can. I know you can. We are an 800 with that knowledge, Sally. You should be acquiring that knowledge. When you're 800, 1,000, 1,200, and you don't know how to checkmate with a rook, you are handicapping yourself big time. At that point, it's downright embarrassing. If we forget about chess for a second and we think about myself learning something other than chess, whether it's a different game, a video game, just a hobby skill, usually what I'm going to start with are the things that are like embarrassing if I don't know them. That's just the way that I like to learn things. Because I'm like, there's no way you're going to catch me not able to do this. Is it embarrassing if I don't know how to checkmate with bishop and knight? Not at all. Grandmasters, former world champions have messed that up. It's not embarrassing at all. Is it embarrassing if you can't checkmate with an extra queen at the end of the game? Absolutely. Of course it is. You're going to work hard, learn chess, how to get an advantage, use amazing tactics, wow, build your habits, amazing game. You get to the end, you have an extra queen and you can't win. What was the point of everything? Right? It's all for nothing if you can't checkmate. So yeah, start learning your end games. Start learning your end games. And when I say end games for 800, I mean checkmate. All we do in end games is move our king and push our pawns. If you can't checkmate, what the hell did you do all that good improvement for? Why'd you bother? Can't checkmate, you're not going to get any credit for it. You're hoping the opponent just resigns. Well, that would be great, but I'm doing the habit series. More people are going to see it. They're going to be reminded not to resign. So tides are a-changing. What is a GeoGuessr thing that is embarrassing not to know? A country that you can get just based on a car. If I don't need to actually look around and guess the country, I can look at the car that I'm in and know immediately 100% what country I'm in, and I get the country wrong. That's embarrassing. So the first thing I did when I was learning GeoGuessr, I was like, there's no goddamn way that I'm going to sit here and not know the country if the car is going to tell me all the answers. Right? That's just embarrassing. Same thing applies. You will never regret putting time and effort into learning how to checkmate with a rook, learning how to checkmate with a queen, right? Zero. Nobody has ever regretted doing that. So you got nothing to lose. Well, KR chess, if it makes it easier, give up the pieces that don't matter. If you focus better when you're like, I know how to do the king and rook checkmate, but when it's king, rook, and bishop, I don't know. When it's king, rook, and pawn, I don't know. Give it up, right? I agree. Sometimes it can be trickier if there's extra stuff on the board. Will the box technique work with a queen? The box technique will most certainly work to some extent with the queen. Is it something that we're going to use with the queen? Absolutely not. We have much smarter ways to deliver checkmate. There is definitely a lot of stalemate risk. It is very suboptimal. And based on how we do other checkmates with the queen, we have something else. So no, I would not recommend doing it with the queen. This one is nice and solid for the, right? We are at 8:38. Let's continue. Got a nice host right there. Lady Desiree, shall we say? Thank you. We're building chess habits here. Starting from the bottom. Hoping to cater to brand new players, to people that are maybe stuck at the same chess level for a while, especially if it's like a beginner level. Welcome in. New viewers, or maybe people that have seen it before, but just join. Either way. Thank you and well. You want habits at 1800? Habits are not going to get you far there. Habits are fundamentals. Fundamentals are what beginners need. This is a beginner series. Double the ELO in 1 week. It definitely has not been 1 week chessbrah thrust. Let's not kid ourselves here. I feel like we've been at it a little bit longer than that, but I agree. Not mine. Not mine. True, Mattis is a habit success story. Habits is a success story. We have people that represent it at a different level, including Mattis at 1800. No one is Jacob. Wow. We're out here getting recommended? What a good feeling. Looking out for the boys. Thank you, Jacob. And thanks for putting your faith in no one is Jacob. I wouldn't put my faith in a username like that. No one is Jacob. Well, then who is? Too confusing. Jacob. Thank you, buddy. And thank you, Lady Desiree, for the host. Son plays chess. I'm telling you, he might be a good candidate for this stream. Let's get this phallic object off there. Might be a good candidate for habits, I would say. Beginner chess series. Perfect. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm a little bit better than beginner. Don't lil bro me like that. I can play chess. I'm not a complete novice here. Even if you're not, I think there's a lot to learn. So definitely recommend the series. We already did this entire series 4 years ago. It was very successful. I think a lot of people were able to use it to really improve. But since it was so successful, we decided to bring it back in 2025 for the first time in a long time. First time in a long time. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to get back in. Maybe you haven't been in chess for a while. Jump back in using habit. My advice. It's 15. Freaked out when you told him. He Hikaru rated you a couple weeks ago. Didn't know he was. Your son was excited. That's what it's all about. Spreading the love on Kick. We're big fans of Hikaru here, Lady Desiree. So that's awesome to hear. Growing the game. Let's continue, shall we? We're at 838. 850, the next goal. Absolutely, Mattis. Let's see if we can keep rising through the ranks. Do we have days we're planning on doing it? Consider this like a classroom, Krodiak. Consider it like a classroom, right? During the week, just like school, right? Monday to Friday, which means here we are on Friday, cramming, right? Last of the week, and be back on Monday. We don't usually do the habits on the weekend. That's important. So look for it during the weekdays. And is it always on Kick? It's not. We stream on Twitch. We also stream on Kick. The benefit of catching one live is that I'll always let you know when the next one's going to be. So at the end of class today, I'll let you know for sure what platform, what time. But at the moment, I can just say it's definitely going to be on Monday. No, I'm not leaving at all, Casino Die. Just letting some of the newer viewers, or at least the comments I'm reading, know about our general schedule for habits. We're right in the middle of this new series. But we're going to continue. Need to get right back in. We're at 8:38. Let's jump into the next one. Man, we are really killing it with this rook checkmate. It's come up a couple times. So we're going to follow those simple rules. Let's see how they help us. We always start with the pawn in the middle. That's the first thing. Nice and easy. Knight to c3. The knights are always the next pieces to come out. In this case, I'm using this one because I'm just protecting my center pawn, but we're going to get the knights looking like this. Next, I need to castle. ASAP. It's very important. So we've got to develop the bishop, and we always put it where? Somewhere that's controlling the center. These four squares are the center. This square controls it. Let's castle. It's very important to get that ASAP. Our opponent castles. Now, this move, pretty much the definition of this series. We want to play this so that our king always has space to breathe. The snorkel. Now, our opponent has made pretty much zero effort to take the center, so I'm going to go ahead and push my other pawn forward. We could just go d3, but we're in level 2 now. We're looking at, a little bit further up the board here. And, yeah, I will take the center if allowed. Okay, our bishop is being hit. Where do we go? Well, the center is available, so in we go. In we go. Oh, I'm in shock. Can't believe it. We have to move again. We need to move away. It's the only square that was available. It also does hit the center, so still feeling pretty good about that. Next, we have this bishop to move. Let's also put it controlling the center, right? That's the center. The bishops are hitting it. They would also be hitting it from these squares, so bishops here would also be good. But those are the main places that we ever consider putting our bishops. Next, where do we put these things? These pieces, the rooks. They always go directly in the center of the board. They are always the best there, right? And on a simple level, that's all you need to know. Okay, hang on a sec. Before I move my queen and bring my other rook in, which you know I want to do, rook's right into the middle, we have something to react to. We can take it. Anytime you can take something or trade something, do it. Which is why right here, these queens can trade. We're going to do it. And as for this pawn in the center, we can take it. It's in the center of the board, so it's a nice, comfortable, easy move for us to make. We're going to go ahead and take it. But this is just us reacting to the stuff our opponent just did. Let's not forget what we're actually up to, which is bringing this rook in. So we're go straight back to that. How do we capture? If we ever need to capture something with our pawn, we think about the center and we don't go away from it. We go towards it. So we take this way. Easy to remember. Okay, our bishop is attacked. We need to move somewhere that is attacking the center, if not in it. We can't move in it, and we need to move away from it. So I would say these are the squares that come to mind, including this one. The reason that I default to these ones is because there's an attack on our knight and a very crucial rule, and definitely something that's going to take getting used to. You're not going to be perfect at this at the start. In fact, you might not ever be perfect at this. But we do not hang free piece. We do not. And if we move our bishop this way, although it beautifully hits the center, you are going to lose this piece. Yes, you are. Right? Move here, you drop this piece. So, is everyone going to pick the correct move here? No. I imagine that, you give this to someone in the habits school, they'll probably mess it up, right? Not every time. Some people will get the move right here, but a lot of people will mess it up. Nevertheless, truly following those habits, take your bishop and you go to safety. In this case, we're still hitting the center. That's the power of this bishop. Even from a long range, we're still doing it. and he's been making a lot of threats against us. But what are we going to do once we finally have our turn again? We're going to bring this rook to the middle, right? I'm not going to get tempted by like winning a pawn here, any of that stuff. No, no, no. Into the middle. We'll see, though, if he even gives me time to do that. Because the way that my opponent's been playing, he's been making a threat every single move. Okay. I'm not looking at anything except completing my idea, bring the rook in the middle. Also, are the queens on the board? No, they are not, which means we are in an endgame. Yes. Most important thing in an endgame is to bring the king in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's nothing more important than bringing the king in. Endgames. There's still a lot of pieces on the board here, by the way. So this is not an obvious idea. Bring the king in, but hey, no queens. King to the middle. Anytime there's a capture, a trade, anything, obviously take it straight back. If there's one available for us, we also do it. For example, here, that's available. We do it. We don't sit there and think, should I take it? Should I do something else? Should I? No, there's no should I. Take it. Where's our king going? Well, it started here. Now it's hitting 2 squares that are part of the center. There's only 4 in the center. We're hitting 2 of them. We're doing pretty well with our king. What are some of the ideas that we go for when we're in the end game? I mean, doubling the rooks, bringing the king into the middle, random pawn moves over here. Those are the types of things that we'd like to do. Our bishop's being hit. In this case, I can actually move into the center. Like I can stay there. So yes, you could consider doing this, but it would never be better, never be smarter than moving into the center. Make sense? So I'm going to move here. I started this plan of doubling the rooks, which means my next move is most likely going to be rook d1, right? Finish doubling. I'm not getting sidetracked, thinking about all these random pawn moves, maybe stuff I could do with this bishop. No, I'm just focusing on keeping the piece in the center, doubling the rooks, probably go for some pawn moves soon. My king is also very central, which I love. It's ready to participate in this endgame. And let's see how our opponent handles it. Okay, bishop's into the middle. The first thing I'm going to do seeing that is try to take it with the pawn and immediately realize I can't. Okay, but I can take it with the knight. So that's going to be my next thing. We always trade. I thought we could win there, but apparently our king made that impossible. The rook takes back. Let's go with our random pawn moves. We've set up our rooks double. We're just hitting him with pawn move after pawn move after pawn move. I'm not even considering, could it be good or could it be bad? What do we do after knight here? We can take it, so we always take it. I'm not even going to consider. I'm just going to take it. We can take it. Am I going to consider anything? No, just going to take it. Anytime we can take something, we do. And in this case, it worked out pretty well. Continuing pushing my pawns here. Okay, we can actually defend this by putting our rook in the center. That looks pretty smart. We've got our king here. When we're in the end game, I also love to use the king. Pretty strong piece. Not really doing anything except moving my king right now. You see how much damage it's able to do just on its own, right? I'm only putting my rook in the actual center, moving my king a ton, and then my pawn, which I've been trying to push the entire time, move it up the board. That's it, really. Use the king. Strong king. We want to use our king and our rooks and see if we can take this. Hit him with another random pawn move. Move up the board. Moving in the middle. Let's take. Can we get the win? King is super strong. It's the piece that I like to use the most. Kind of use our rooks to take our opponent's pawns. Let's take it. Wait a minute. It's a rook check. No. Oh, what a privilege. It's a rook check. Oh, just a little hug. And then a rook check. It's the rook checkmate again. It's the same one. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We just had this. Guys, of course I'm going to take any opportunity to showcase and show off the rook checkmate we just used. Duh. What can I say? I'm excited. We just learned this. All makes sense. You'll never stop seeing a little penis there. Yeah, no, look at it right there. And the best part about this is we have used the same technology that we use with our Twitch tags so that it will show up life size. So yeah, depending on where you're watching from, it is location based as well. So you'll see one tailor made for you. Give a little hug and then checkmate. That's correct, Moose. Just give a little hug. That's this one right here, right? We had our box. We know not to make the box smaller like this. We never do it, right? Never. So it must be a king move. And then here, we aren't able to make the box smaller. We never want to just repeat the moves. And we know that we're correct so far, which means give the king a nice hug there, and you'll always be ready for checkmate next. Now, obviously, there was a lot of paraphernalia on the field, but pattern remains the same, which is why I decided to just go ahead and create it in the last moments so that we could get that pattern once more. Let's continue. 846. Okay, pawn into the middle. The knight comes out, right? We know the other knight comes out after that, but hang on a sec. We always have to take when possible, then the other knight. And the only advice I have is always have a pawn in the middle. So in this case, I mean, we don't have one. We took whatever. We need another one. There we go. Now, bishop, we know where it goes, right there, hitting the center. Okay, we always take. We always castle as soon as we can, and here we go. We played this move last time. It should be familiar. The snorkel, so we can breathe. From here, let's get our other bishop out. Bishop here, hitting the center. That would be a level 1 move, and it would be phenomenal. What is better than phenomenal? Bishop g5, utilizing the full scope of level 2 habits, bring that bishop out a little further, and remembering that when you're bringing the bishop out further, with great power comes great responsibility. I don't want to see you guys bring the bishop out and then just taking. That sucks. So if you're bringing the bishop out, make sure to keep the pin. You just earned something, a pin. Congratulations. You're going to give it away next turn? It doesn't make sense. If you're giving it away, you better be getting something in return. So we have this pin. We're not going to be taking it. It doesn't mean that we're not going to be taking knights, right? It doesn't mean we're never taking knights again. If somehow this wasn't a pin and the knight went here, I would take it. Of course I would. But let's maintain this, which means what's our next step? Rook to the middle. right? Our next move after that's probably the queen up and then the other rook over. Bishop is being hit. We are hitting the center here. We can't move in the center. So I definitely agree with this one. Hitting the center and also right smack in the center of the board. Good place to be. Our queen, our rook, those are the next moves. Notice how I am not tempted to take this knight. Go ahead and answer 2 questions for yourself right now. Perfect. He asked one of them. My first question was going to be after h6, what move should we play? My second question was going to be after queen d6, what move do we play? Please submit your answers for both. If black plays this queen move here, what do we do? And if black plays this here, which obviously he did, what do we do? We need to know what our plan is in those 2 situations. After the queen move, we take the knight. This is correct. Why do we take if the queen moves? First of all, it's not a pin anymore, so it's time to take. And on top of that, the pawn is going to have to recapture, which shatters the pawns in front of the king. We are taking the knight and we are getting something back. So it's not like, oh, we're taking, what are we getting in return? No, we're ruining the king's support and protection. So we are getting something in return. Plus, it's not pinned in. In this case, it's still pinned. If we take, the queen's just going to take back, so we maintain the pin. Okay, great. Look at this, guys. I don't even have to ask the questions. Is it a pin anymore? No, it's not. The knight is in the way. And if we take it, the pawn has to recapture. So now we take it. I know that might seem convoluted, but there are some pretty clear rules to follow about whether you do or don't. Okay, let's get our queen up. Let's get our rook over. Back to basics here. The rook comes over. We got rooks in the middle. Knight's happy. Bishop's hitting the center. What do we do after this? It's time for some RPMs. Random pawn moves. Okay. Obviously, we take random pawn moves. Well, we've only got one to move. Let's go ahead and go for it. Obviously, take it back. Now I have a trade that I'm planning to do. So if it's my turn and nothing crazy happens next, what am I going to do? I already know my move. Bishop takes knight. Otherwise, I'm probably going to default back to random pawn moves. Okay. As I said, we're going to go ahead and take that knight. This was the move that I've been planning for the last minute. And what do you know? It just so happens to be a phenomenal move. The best move. What do we do here? Oh, would you look at that? We always take free material. And look at that free material. Chess is not that difficult, is it? Oh, what do we do now? There's a trade. Let's go for the trade. And how about we get back to exactly what we were doing before this nonsense happened? Random pawn moves. Yeah, let's go. Let's finish that up. Right? Just because we end up winning a bunch of material doesn't mean that I stray from the habits, right? I still am going to go back and say, okay, what was I doing? Let's just go back to that. And here we go. Pawn moves. Okay, the queen has moved up. This is important, you know. We use the nice little squint technique. Does that look great? If you're wondering whether a move is safe, just kind of hover it over and say. And certainly that doesn't look right to me. But we're still on our random pawn moves, so let's keep it going, right? Pawns, pawns, pawns. There they go. All the way up, okay? Bonds, 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 bonds. Okay. Once we're done our pawns, what are we doing after that? Pieces into the center, maybe double the rooks. Okay. Pawns, you know. This looks like a free piece. This looks like a free piece. There's nothing in front of our pawns. Just go ahead. This one, I always recommend, just get that rook in front of it to stop it. There we go. Opponent's still playing. Let's see if we can bring our queen back into the center. Maybe bring our king out. This is an endgame after all. Time to bring our king out. Right, let's bring that queen right into the center of the board. And come on, would you look at that? I'm in shock. How's it possible that it worked so goddamn well? Oh yeah, it's the habits. They're that easy. It's just that easy. It's habits, baby. It's habits, baby. 854 is 854. We're over 850, folks. Not too bad. It's habits, baby. You missed the circle song? Well, certainly. Oh, class is well underway. Where were you? Random 800 versus a GM. Is this guy GM? Because I'm a random 800. I'm no GM here. I'm following the habits same as you guys. Don't be coming at me with that type of accusation. The most random. Thank you to Pier Knight for the gifted sub there. Saw a few snipers in there to Pier. G Madrid earlier. Appreciate the snipes, friendly snipes. What ELO will level 2 take us to? Hey, you tell me. What do you think? Since we're just riding it out right now. Right now, the going's good. But we expected this, right? At the start, you kind of expect to have some initial gains because we just unlocked so many extra helpful things that we're incorporating into our game. More random snipe. G Madrid got another one. No plebs allowed in here. Hey, you get a sub. Hey, you get a sub. Hey, you get a sub. You can start with Scholars Make their BBKK, but I'm telling you, our habits guys, they're ready to handle it. I hope I've equipped them properly. No bleb is safe from G Madrid, as Abraham Lincoln also realized. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly true. He's not safe either. Your wife saw all the 69s. Dial back to sniping for a while. You ever play video game G Madrid? It's called Need for Speed. It's a great game. I think based on the name, you could probably understand what it might be about. Need for Speed. Yeah, it's cars, racing. Reason I ask G Madrid is they have a particular release of Need for Speed called Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And, this is where the cops are on you. You're out breaking the law, causing mayhem, causing a ruckus in the town, driving too fast. And all of a sudden the cops are on your tail. And when you're causing a little bit too much of a ruckus, the cops are after you. And in order to have the heat die down, you got to lay low for a little while, drive the speed limit. And I just couldn't help but see the parallel between Need for Speed and naturally yourself over there. So take care of the car, G Madrid, lay low for a little while, wait till the heat's off. You'll be back on the streets in no time. But the snipes continue. No one is Jacob also getting in on it. G Madrid ×3. No one is Jacob. Bringing some people in. Also coming in with a gifty. Way too kind. Did Magnus already play? He did. Already commentated that one this morning. I think it only lasted like an hour or something. I don't know. It really was a pretty short day in the office for Magnus. He played 4 games, but one of them was a draw in like no time. Most of them were pretty easy. So that match is done. Came for the chess, stayed for the night, day fiance Temptation Island. Well, that's good. We take care of you with some book learning in the day and also some degeneracy at night, as always. Did I mean it when I said I enjoyed the podcast? I suppose I meant it, but it wasn't true that I've seen it. So perhaps it's a lie. Maybe we'll find out. However, I like Joe Rogan podcasts, and this is Magnus talking for 2 hours. I already know I'm pretty much going to like it. So that's a pretty safe statement. But I just haven't had the time. Been streaming, commentating all day. All right. Well, it's time we conclude our lecture portion of the day and move on to the class.